It's not you, it's me. We've all heard it. Maybe we've even said it. It's the classic breakup line, right up there with, "We were on a break." It's the go-to phrase when you want to let someone down gently, like a warm blanket dipped in arsenic. But what does it actually mean? Is it ever true? Or is it just a load of bollocks we tell ourselves and each other to avoid hurting feelings? We're gonna delve into this age-old excuse, dissect it like a frog in biology class, and see what makes it tick. Now, I'm not saying that everyone who utters this phrase is lying through their teeth. Sometimes it might actually be true. Maybe you're stuck in a rut, you've got your own issues to sort out, and you know deep down that you're not ready for a relationship, no matter how lovely the other person is. It's like trying to make a cup of tea when your kitchen's on fire. In those cases, it's not you, it's me can be a way of letting someone down gently, a softer blow than "you're great." But I'd rather staple my tongue to a cheese grater than spend another minute with you. But even then, it's often easier to point the finger at ourselves than to have an honest, difficult conversation about what's really going on. Here's the thing. Relationships are a two-way street. It takes two to tango, two to make a baby, well, you get the picture. So, when someone says it's not you, it's me, they're conveniently forgetting that they chose to be with you in the first place. They saw something they liked, something that made them want to spend time with you, maybe even introduce you to their mom. Are they now saying that was all a big misunderstanding? That they were somehow blinded by your dazzling personality and failed to notice your glaring flaws? Look, I'm not saying we shouldn't take some responsibility when relationships go south. Let's be honest, sometimes it's not you, it's me is just a cop-out. It's a way of avoiding confrontation, like a politician dodging a tough question on a Sunday morning talk show. It's easier to blame ourselves than to have an honest conversation about what went wrong, about the ways we might have hurt each other, about the elephant in the room that's been tap dancing on our last nerve. And let's not forget the fear of taking responsibility for our own happiness. It's scary to admit that we might be the ones holding ourselves back, that we might be the ones sabotaging our own chances at love. But here's the thing. Dodging responsibility might feel good in the short term, but in the long run, it'll come back to bite you in the arse. Section 5. Not ready for prime time. Now, sometimes the "it's not you, it's me" line is less about dodging responsibility and more about genuine self-awareness. Maybe the person saying it realizes they're not in the right headspace for a relationship. Maybe they've got their own issues to work through, like a fear of commitment or a tendency to push people away. It's like trying to run a marathon with a broken leg. In those cases, "it's not you, it's me" can be a sign of maturity, a recognition that sometimes you have to love yourself before you can love someone else. It takes guts to prioritize your own well-being, even if it means potentially hurting someone else's feelings. Section 6. Growing pains. See, relationships can be like funhouse mirrors. They reflect back our own insecurities, our deepest fears, the stuff we try to keep hidden from the world. And sometimes those reflections can be pretty damn ugly. We might realize that we're not as kind, as patient, or as understanding as we thought we were. We might discover that we've got a habit of pushing people away, or that we're drawn to partners who reinforce our own negative patterns. But it's also an opportunity for growth. Section 7. Owning your stuff. Look, I'm not saying we should go around beating ourselves up for every relationship that goes wrong. We all make mistakes, we all have regrets. That's part of being human. But there's a difference between taking responsibility for our actions and wallowing in self-pity. Owning your stuff means acknowledging your role in the relationship's demise without resorting to self-flagellation. It's about recognizing your own shortcomings without turning yourself into the villain of the story. It's like cleaning up a mess you made. Section 8. Facing your demons. This is where it gets a bit heavy, but stick with me. Sometimes the "it's not you, "It's me" line is a sign that we need to do some serious soul-searching. It's a wake-up call, a sign that we're stuck in a rut, repeating the same patterns, making the same mistakes over and over again. We all have our demons, our insecurities, our baggage from the past. And sometimes those demons can wreak havoc on our relationships if we let them. Section 9. Recognizing your role. Now, I'm not saying we should go around blaming ourselves for everything. That's just as unhelpful as blaming everyone else. But there's a difference between blaming yourself and recognizing your role in the situation. It's about understanding how your actions, your words, your choices contributed to the relationship's downfall. It's about owning your part in the mess without getting stuck in a spiral of self-loathing. Section 10. The importance of self-reflection. So, what's the takeaway from all of this? Well, for starters, it's important to remember that relationships are complicated. There's no magic formula, no easy answers, no one-size-fits-all explanation for why they work or why they fail. But one thing's for sure, if you keep finding yourself on the receiving end of the "it's not you, it's me" line, it might be time for a bit of self-reflection. It's time to take a good, hard look at yourself, to figure out what you want out of a relationship, and to identify any patterns or behaviors that might be holding you back. It's not always easy to face our own shortcomings, but it's essential for personal growth. Section 11. Prioritizing personal growth. And that, my friends, is the real meaning behind "it's not you, it's me." It's not about blaming yourself or letting the other person off the hook. It's about recognizing that sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself and for your future relationships is to walk away and focus on your own growth. You don't just walk in and expect to bench press a small car. You have to start small, build up your strength, and gradually work your way up to the heavy lifting. Personal growth is a journey, not a destination. Section 12. Building healthier relationships. The good news is, the more you invest in your own personal growth, the healthier your future relationships will be. You'll be more self-aware, more empathetic, more capable of giving and receiving love. You'll be able to spot red flags a mile away, and you'll be less likely to settle for partners who don't deserve you. It takes time, effort, and a lot of awkward mispronunciations, but eventually you'll be fluent in the language of love. So the next time you hear or say "it's not you, it's me," remember that it's not just a throwaway line. Section 13. The power of honesty. Now, I know what you're thinking, "Ricky, this is all well and good, but what if the other person is actually the problem?" And to that I say, fair enough. Sometimes the "it's not you, it's me" line is a load of bollocks, and the other person is clearly the one with the issues. But even then, honesty is still the best policy. It might not be easy, but it's always better to be upfront about your feelings and give the other person the closure they deserve. It might sting a bit at first, but it's better than letting the wound fester. Section 14. Self-awareness and communication. The key to effective communication is self-awareness. Before you can have an honest conversation with someone else, you need to be honest with yourself. What are your needs? What are your boundaries? What are you willing to compromise on? And what are your deal breakers? Once you have a better understanding of yourself, you can start communicating your needs and expectations to your partner. And remember, communication is a two-way street. It's not just about talking, it's about listening too. Section 15. A chance for growth. Look, breakups are never easy. They're messy, they're painful, and they can leave you feeling like you got hit by a bus driven by a clown car full of your own insecurities. But they can also be an opportunity for growth, a chance to learn from your mistakes, and a stepping stone on the path to finding a love that's truly meant to be. So, the next time you hear or say "it's not you, it's me," remember to be kind to yourself, be honest with each other, and never stop believing in the power of love. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a date with a packet of biscuits, and a David Attenborough documentary.